Salisbury North R-7 School has about 485 students. We have 10 IELC classes, so that's Intensive English Language Centre. Very little or no English when our students first come, and our IELC children are predominantly from Afghanistan, Syria, Myanmar and Nepal. We also have about 383 mainstream students as well, with a large cohort of Indigenous students. This site has had a large focus on wellbeing for quite some time, and really this year it's about looking a bit deeper. So we've used a number of positive education strategies, but this year there's been a really large focus on relationships and a relational approach, and how we repair relationships when they've been broken as well. So an explicit and an implicit focus, but really intentionally it's about embedding that approach into our practice and not seeing it as a standalone, and that this is about wellbeing for learning and learning for wellbeing so that our kids can access learning and engagement. We have linked up with Connected Self and run a rock and water program, which a lot of South Australian schools use. However, we've really embedded the approach across our site, reception to year 7. Rather than take a group of students out and work with them more intensely, we work across our site to really have that consistent common approach and common language. And our teachers work alongside Jack, who takes our program, and it's about building their capacity and that capacity building.
The main thing for me was, first of all, the biggest challenge about working with students from a range of backgrounds, but only just this year did I work with a student that had severe trauma, and that's where it really opened my eyes. And when you hear the stories of students, that's when you want to make a difference. And I think it's in all teachers. All teachers have that great heart where they want to do something to make a difference. And for me, when I met this particular student, hearing the stories, talking to social workers and finding out the background just flicked a switch, and then I was emotionally connected. She couldn't identify her feelings. So when she was enraged, it would just happen and she wouldn't understand what had happened. So for me, it was really pinpointing what's an emotion, how do we express that feeling? And these are year 6, 7 students, but going back to those basics and really making it clear, this is what happiness is. Let's really enjoy this moment. Or this is sadness, and that's totally fine. And what do we do though when we're feeling sad to get ourselves back up? And a resource I developed along with support of a few other staff is a peaks and pits graph. And the way it works is students graph their day on a number system, 0 being absolutely horrible, 10 being amazing.
So with our challenging students, we know that the environment plays a really critical role for our children. Our classrooms are really quite a nurturing and welcoming environment so that they know that here is a safe place for them. We use mindfulness strategies where kids have got jars that bring them in. We also case manage a number of students, so they have 1 or 2 key people that they can go to, so really have a deep relationship with them.
It helped me a lot that all of our fellow and our teacher, we respect each other, and by that we learn more. The teacher is just like a teacher for people, but they are a superhero for their students. So
we understand here that this takes time and it's not a quick fix. This isn't a band-aid approach, and that for some of our kids this will take 6 months to a year, if not longer. And so it is really teaching and talking the narrative through, despite the fact that sometimes we might not think they're listening, they are, and continuing the conversation around relationships and repairing their relationships and restoring that so that, you know, they can move forward with their lives. I think the key is to have a go. Don't be frightened with some of our most challenging kids, and a trauma-informed approach will work for all students. Really, it's about looking into the research and the evidence behind what is happening, linking up with schools that are doing similar things or that you want to learn from, and just having some key leaders within the site that can be champions for this, and just understand that, you know, every child needs a champion and to be there for them. So reach out to anyone and everyone and don't be afraid to ask questions.